I don't know what they're hoping for. They broke the curse last year. This year, even if they win, it's not going to be as big a deal. Give up, guys. You did it. You got another 100 years for the next one.
See, now I don't know if you're kidding or not. It's like, I didn't pay much attention to baseball this year, but even I know the World Series is over.
Oh, see, I didn't because I don't pay attention.
Yeah, it was that team that won.
The Astros.
Oh, yeah,
Stars.
Astros. Houston Astros.
See, you shouldn't say anything. I was going to offer Adam $10 if he could tell me in the next 5 seconds who won. I know he can Google it very quickly, but
I actually did remember it was the Astros because I saw the news articles. So you should have let him make that bet.
Noted fact.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time reading comic books and stuff. But I've got this Marvel Puzzle Quest game on my phone.
You still play that?
How is that?
I actually enjoy it. I make it a point to not spend, I think I've spent a grand total of maybe $15 on it. Because if you get sucked into trying to get as good as you can, as fast as you can, you will spend a lot of money on it.
That's how they do it.
But
I lost my house to Marvel Puzzle Quest.
yeah. But it does give you a little bit of background into different Marvel comic book characters.
That's cool.
And I'm playing through one right now that's got Elektra and Daredevil in it. I'm actually glad I've never read or watched that series because that just seems like a really frustrating dynamic. Kind of like Peter Parker and how he never tells the people he likes that he likes them because that would somehow ruin his life.
Even though they get married to Mary Jane and Gwen at one point.
Maybe he was, but in all the movies he never tells them.
Well, yeah, because they never get further than high school.
Before the next version of Peter Parker comes.
It's his eternal hell. He's just in the junior year of high school forever.
Groundhog Day, but Spider-Man.
Spider-Hog Day.
Exactly.
Yeah, Spider-Hog Day.
Well, now that Amanda's with us, Amanda, what happened last time?
I didn't see anyone roll a d20, guys. I've been on Fantasy Grounds this whole time.
Yeah, we didn't roll. Since you're late, you get it.
Chip's not here.
That's right. He's not here, so I can't make him do it.
Last week, I think we got Aravan out of... Last week, he got out of being imprisoned and, tried for murders, which was cool.
That was 6 weeks ago.
That might have been a long time ago. I've had a life right now, okay? My whole life is a jumble. But that happened one time ago. I'm recapping for Caden because he's been sleeping most of the time, so he's probably missed a lot.
That's true, actually. That is very true.
My cat has been very obnoxious right now. I apologize. Okay, so yeah, we were in the village.
Before you get too far, have you moved again? Are you now back in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Texas, but I don't really have anything where it's supposed to go. My computer's barely set up. So I'm that was the first thing I did was I have to have a place for my computer and the rest of the house will come later. So right now I have my entire kitchen completely torn apart. I have all the cupboards torn apart, nothing in the cupboards. I'm repainting everything. So I have a mess right now, but my computer's set up and that's important.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun. My cat. Oh my God, he's been quiet all day.
Now note you're not paying attention to it.
I know. He's like, excuse me, ma'am, my food bowl is empty. You need to refill it. Okay. So we were in, was it Waterdeep?
Yep.
Yes, Waterdeep. And the knights found where Aravan was staying, and we're like, no, you can't have him. He's like, nah, guys, it's cool. I'm going to go with him. I'm a respectable person. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to go talk to your dad. And he's like, no. I'm not going to talk to him. We're like, okay, well, if he doesn't want to go, we're going to fight you. And you're like, no, we're not going to fight. And so we got through this whole thing, and we're like, okay, well, we're going to go rescue him because he said not to bother him, but we're going to go anyways. We're going to try and rescue him. And we're like, wait a second. This is a mansion. This isn't a prison. What the fuck's happening? Turns out someone from the council is like, look, we hired you to do a job, so we know you're under arrest right now, but we're just going to, forget about that because we want you to do our job. And he's like, oh, cool. So we're like, okay, there's this many guards outside. This is how we're going to break in. And then Aravan walks out. We're like, oh, hey, man, what are you doing here? We didn't know you were here. That's just what a coincidence. No big
You guys
deal.
come here often?
Exactly. And then we get all of our magical stuff for sure. We get changed out of the bunny slippers. And then they're like, oh, well, here's a boat so you guys don't have to walk. And we're like, oh, that's really nice of you. We'll take the boat. So we're on this boat, and they're like, look, it's going to get really cold up north. And we're like, yeah, we're going to the sea of ice. That makes sense. It's going to be cold. Like, so do you guys want to sleep on the boat, or do you guys want to sleep in the ice? And we're like, let's sleep on the ice. That sounds warm. And so we get there, and we dock the boat onto an ice thing, and we dig our little huts, and Xavier and Aravan had quite an interesting house made for the both of them, because they figured,
Double the body heat, double the warmth.
Double the heat, and double the awkwardness, but it's cool because they got through it. And then in the middle of the night, lo and behold, we heard this noise, and we're like, well, we can't just sleep through it. Let's go investigate like the heroes we are. It turns out there's a whole bunch of trolls trying to break into the boat, and we're like, oh, great, trolls. But we didn't know they were trolls at the time, but somehow we magically knew their weakness was fire, and we killed them with fire. Because we're awesome.
That's how we kill most things, isn't it?
I blame the fact that I let someone convince me that it was reasonable to build a flaming bone staff.
Good job, Chip.
We won't name names here, though.
He's totally a cheerleader now.
That's his baton.
I wish he was here. Damn it. I'll save it for next week.
It looks really cool, though. And then we're like, okay, so we're here. And then we realize, okay, now what? We don't know what we're doing. We're like, oh, we're supposed to find this person. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's find this person. And we're like, oh, we don't know where to find this person at. So we're like, okay, let's figure out how to find this person. Look, there's people, let's follow them. And I'm pretty sure that ended up not good because, we lost them or something. I think that's about where we left off. We're like, we need to figure out what to do. And yeah. I think that's where we left off. I could be completely wrong.
No, we pretty much wrapped up with you guys finishing the fight with what you discovered were trolls.
Okay.
So, you have successfully slain 3 trolls, or ice trolls, otherwise known as scrags.
Oh, and most importantly, Aravan trumped over Caden's ice hut because he decided not to wake up and help us fight.
I thought that was Octavia.
No.
Very rude, either way.
Either way, Caden has to rebuild his hut now.
That's assuming Caden woke up, though.
Yeah.
That is a brave assumption.
He died in his sleep.
Pat. Oh my goodness.
No, Numa stepped on him.
So, you guys have finished slaying these trolls. The captain of the boat is, he was hiding a little bit because, you guys are big, mean adventurers, and he's just a sailor. Normally they would try to run from those things. So he's very, very happy that you guys managed to take care of these trolls. And he doesn't think that there's likely to be that many more of them close by, because there wouldn't necessarily be that many in one location. The feeding might get a little skimpy. So he thinks it's probably reasonably safe to try to finish your rest and get up the next morning and continue the search.
Awesome.
So assuming you guys do that, and
Back to bed then.
Yeah.
so you
A long day ahead of us.
successfully get a rest, even though it was slightly interrupted. I'm not gonna penalize you by making you keep all the spells you expended. I'll say you actually got your rest. But in the morning you wake up and...
Are you going to give us the rest, or do you have to go through and redo everything real quick?
Oh, fine, if you're just
I didn't spend
needy
anything.
and stuff.
I don't mind, but sometimes you do it after I already clicked it all.
There.
Ah, perfect. Saves me so much place.
So, you get up in the morning and, you're looking around, and none of you pay that much attention. Like, it's a sea of ice. There's icebergs and things, and you understand that, stuff floats around and drifts. But when you wake up in the morning, as you look around, you notice that the water seems much clearer of ice than it was when you went to bed last night. And looks like there's much wider rowing and sailing lanes this morning. And the captain is just happy to see some clear water. Figures it'll make it fairly easy to make good time.
Very nice.
I mean, is this like normal? Like it goes with the tides, and so at nighttime it's going to get crowded again? Or like, is it like, oh, this is eerie and weird, it never does this type scenario?
You have no idea.
I'm going to ask Sailor Man.
Just a sailor man?
I don't care who. The first one I see that looks like he might know what he's talking about, which my IQ really, the first person I see.
Okay. So you go up to Sailor McSailsalot, and
He is the perfect person.
you ask him about it, and he says that the ice moves, and sometimes it takes you by surprise how quickly things can shift around up here. But this is in the couple of trips he's made up here. This has happened before. It's not if you saw no ice, he would get worried. But the
I
worry.
mean, it is the sea of endless ice, so I suppose if there was no ice, that's reason to be worried.
The sea of moving ice.
I thought it was endless ice.
No, there's an endless
Well.
ice place up north, but this isn't it.
Oh, we're not there yet. Okay, well, thank you for your time. Sea of moving ice, the ice moved, so that verifies everything. I'm completely content.
Do you guys have anything you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do my sonar trick.
Your sonar trick.
Yeah, my
Every time
primeval
you
awareness.
say that, I think about that whale off of Finding Dory.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my primeval awareness. And I think I can throw it in chat for you. Or not.
I would hope, because I don't remember you having a sonar trick.
I used it last week.
We just,
How do I
Oh,
put
you
it in
mean-
chat?
You mean your ranger ability that allows you to sense creatures?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's not sonar.
Xavier just starts shouting out very, very loudly.
He sticks his head in the freezing cold water.
bat vision.
So I'll spend a minute concentrating and favorite enemies. I'm looking for humans within, or humanoids within 5 miles.
You pick up a lot of humanoids around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, so nothing on the edges of the range.
Not that you can see.
Okay. Cool.
And everybody piles back into the boat. There's a little repair work to be done where the trolls were trying to get inside the boat and get to the supplies. But that doesn't take too long. So someone roll me a d6.
I got it.
Yay. Oh, no.
1.
Okay, someone roll
That's
me another
probably-
d6.
Oh, no.
Guys,
Again,
it's fine.
again.
It means he
Do it again.
didn't see mine.
Do it again. Do it again. 2.
And one more d6.
Okay, Dad.
Are we all rolling a d6?
No,
One
just
of you.
someone.
Oh, God.
We're doing really good.
All right. So, which direction are you guys trying to sail in?
The northeastern way, because I think on the map that's the way we were trying to go. That's my guess, but I'm not a sailor, so.
I
That's
think
true.
Is that like I'm not a lawyer?
I'm going to point in a direction and be like, we're going that way.
Yeah, I
I
think
can roll a d4 if you want.
going to the heading towards the center of the moving ice pack would probably get us closer to where a dragon might be.
Okay. You guys continue heading northeasterly. It's a fairly quiet day. There is a little bit of a wind, and the sailors kind of point out that the wind is really what pushes the ice around more than anything else. And so far, it's been a fairly light breeze, but they do warn you that sometimes the wind up here gets positively vicious, and it comes from further north, so it is quite cold and biting when it starts to really pick up.
Oh.
So morning goes by pretty uneventfully. Don't really see anything of a particular note. By the time you guys start breaking out the food for a kind of a midday meal, you suddenly feel the boat lurch, almost like it may have hit something. Like it kind of rocks to one side.
I'm on the front of the boat doing my lookout thing, and I'm going to try to take a look around both sides of the boat.
Okay,
Lean
so
over the
you're
edge
like
a little bit.
up in the bow of the boat, looking at
Mhm.
just on lookout.
Yep.
Okay, then I need you to make me a dexterity save.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Here we go. Hey, 27.
How about 19?
All right, so
19.
even though the boat rocks unexpectedly, and you're kind of your attention's out to the forward direction, you easily catch your balance, and then you start looking around. Make me a perception check.
Certainly.
You look on the starboard side, you look on the port side, and I mean there are some bits of ice kind of in the wake, but none of them look particularly big.
Captain, what was that?
And you can see that the captain's talking to some of the sailors, and they're also starting to kind of look around. A couple of them are going downstairs to see if there's been any sort of damage to the boat.
I'll follow those guys below deck, like in case anything came in.
Okay. And as you're heading down the stairs, what's everybody else doing?
I'm just kind of hanging around up top, looking where we're going, kind of looking out, see if I see any of the local people, because I know we're going to try and talk to them if we found any. Kind of keeping an eye out for what's going on around the boat. Looking, whale watching, polar bears looking. Very observant.
Caden will be keeping an eye out, just see what's going on.
Oh, I should have had advantage on that perception check. Oh, on the next one.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did not.
Oh, it's too late now.
Yep.
Lose.
Yep.
So, as Aravan is heading below the deck, everyone feels the boat rock a second time. And this time it's much more violent. And it's actually so violent that several people are kind of thrown to the deck.
Xavier's gonna
Good to
do
go.
a quick lash around himself and lash himself to the boat in some fashion.
Okay. Aravan, as you're going down the stairs, I need you to make a dexterity check.
All right. How about a 1?
Oh my gosh!
You're on a roll.
Aravan!
You're very consistent.
Okay. So
Good
with your
period.
1,
We'd already hit it. I didn't think we'd hit it again.
roll me a d4.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh.
You take 3 points of damage as your head smacks against one of the supports for the stairs, and you stumble and basically you don't fall like flat on your face or anything, but your head smacks the support. You kind of get weak knee just a little bit, and you go tumbling down the rest of the stairs. And right at that point, you hear one of the sailors call out, "Marrows!" And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Oh God.
I mean, there's bones around.
No, it's not that bad. Nice.
25.
I thought my AC, I guess with that new armor, does my AC go up with the new armor?
What new armor and what AC?
The
My
white
dragon.
scale armor.
Yeah, because I thought it was 18, but now it's 19.
Well, you have.
I might be wrong, but I really thought it was 18.
Well, you have dragon scale mail,
Yeah.
so there is a. It should have an AC on that item.
Let me see.
Why are you complaining that
Oh,
you
yeah,
have more AC?
+1. Well, I'm a cheater, guys, okay? I try and notice when I cheat.
We kn-
So yeah, the scale mail gives me a +1, so I'm 19 now. Awesome sauce.
Yep, there you go. Okay. So, with Numa, who was asleep downstairs, as the boat rocks, also has his head banged against the wall in his chamber. He is now incapacitated and will be unable to participate in this fight. Really unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
I need to step on him on my way back.
So this time you will have no flaming bone staff to save you.
Oh no!
Damn it, guys.
So, Xavier said he was in the front.
Yep.
Aravan was going down the stairs.
Are we back on the green map?
I'm
Nope.
somewhere on the
Oh.
boat, so place me where good whale watching area is.
Well, you were talking to a dude, right?
Yeah, but that was before.
So a whale watching area will be right about there.
That looks like a good whale watching area.
And Caden, where would you like to be?
Let's see. So I guess just put me there.
All right. Where's your dastardly pointer? Okay. So, the sailor who called out is. Let me get a token for him. Not that one. He is the always useful S.
Sure sails a lot.
Classic S.
So he was standing about here, and he is pointing out the marrows. And Caden, you can see one of them right about there.
Can we walk across this area? Or is that like difficult terrain or anything like that?
What area?
The grates,
Cargo
I'm
hatch.
guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intended to be walked across.
Okay. Making sure.
That
I don't want to
is-
fall through.
Larger than I thought it would be.
Octavia, just don't jump on those gratings a whole bunch while walking over them.
I am quite heavy with my hand.
All right. So, who would like to go first? Oh, it's going to be Xavier.
I was like, wait, we get to choose? I got so excited.
So Xavier, you
Yeah.
haven't seen this yet. Only
No.
Caden has seen that mirror, but you see the guy pointing over the railing.
Right. Now this ship has 2 masts, right?
Actually, it's only got one.
Okay. Is it in the front? Or in
This
the
is not the actual ship. You guys are on like a Viking longship, basically.
back? Right. All right.
There are no crossbows in the back.
What I would like to do is unhook the part of the rope that's attached to the boat and then start running and climbing towards the mast. Or start climbing the mast.
So you're going to you're just going to pull a random rope and then start climbing the mast.
No, the rope that I attached myself when the boat started listing.
Oh.
So it's still attached to me, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to use it like a tree climber guy.
Like Mulan.
Yeah, like a Mulan.
Okay, so you're going to like do the thing where you use it to lean back against while you walk up the...
Yep. And then I assume that there's a crossbar that holds the sail.
There is.
Okay. Well, I will use my triple movement to get as high up that mast as I can.
Okay. I am totally down with this idea. However, as I described this to you,
Yes.
Feel free to change anything you'd like to change.
Certainly.
So, you've got this rope tied around you that you were about to lash to the railing,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear this call. So, you decide that if there's something over the side of the boat, you need height to be able to shoot at it.
Yep.
So you start heading for the main mast, and you're thinking about wrapping this rope around and using it to like climb up. And you run past about 4 different ropes that are already tied going up the mast.
That's a good point.
So as you're like running towards the mast,
I would instead I would still maintain my rope because I'm going to use it once I get up to the top, but I will use the already attached ropes then.
Okay, so since it's now a securely tied rope going up to where you want it to go, make me a dexterity or acrobatics check.
Certainly.
With advantage for the rope.
18.
All right. With your 18, you managed to climb approximately 20 feet up the rope, and you're, well, actually, I guess there's movement for climbing. So what's your base movement speed?
35.
Okay. Let me lock the tokens, and you can see how much it takes you to get to that mast.
Okay.
And then how high you can get.
Alrighty. Alright, so... So 20 feet to the mast, and then if I triple move, then half movement for climbing, right?
Yep.
Alright, so I get a total of, let's see, 90, 100, 105. So that gives me 85, so I can get 40 feet climbing.
Nice.
So you managed to climb up to the top crossbar where the sail is, it's currently furled, so it's actually tied up there.
Okay.
And you managed to pull yourself up to kind of the sitting position, straddling the main mast. And
Perfect.
You can see down off either side reasonably well. Make me a perception check.
All right. This is visual, right?
This is visual.
All right, I get advantage on these. Oh my god, 16.
All right, so you see not only the one that the sailor is pointing at, you see that there are at least a couple more. One up towards the front of the boat, and one about the middle of the boat.
And I will call that out. 3 off the port side. 1 near the stern, 1 in the middle, 1 on the bow.
I don't speak gibberish.
You're on the wrong side of the boat, Octavia. Move.
Yeah, and Octavia calls out, "Where's the port?"
Port, 4 letters.
If you're
left.
having bowel problems, you should probably be below deck.
Now's not the time for
It's my
wine.
turn.
Caden.
All right, so what do I know about marrows?
Well, you can make me a
There was
knowledge
one
check of
outside.
some kind, and I might tell you some things that you would know about
Uh,
marrows.
History or Arcana, investigation.
I'm going to say out of those, probably history.
Ooh.
Meh.
You know that marrows are somewhat akin to merfolk. You think you've heard about them like being demon worshippers of some kind? Yeah, you hear, you don't know what's real and what's just legends about them, but you know that they are savage monsters and they will eat people and all kinds of other things. And fishermen tend to do anything they can to avoid them.
All right, do they qualify as aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead?
No, they do not.
All right.
So these are like dark merfolk.
Let's see.
If you had to try to categorize them, you would probably call them a monstrosity.
Oh.
But Caden's not that kind of dude. He wouldn't put a label on
Caden, that's so rude.
it.
You'd be surprised about Caden. All right, so they are climbing up the side of the boat or appearing.
All you can see is that one, and he's just at the surface, and it seems like he's trying to like shove on the boat.
Oh, okay. So I can only see that one, though.
Correct. With your perception check from earlier, that's all you can see.
Okay.
But you know that there's 3 somewhere on that side of the boat.
If he's fluent with sailing terminology.
Basically.
I am hip with the lingo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so knowing that there's more there, and I can see that one is towards the bag. So I want to cast Whisper's Storm of Darkness.
Ooh.
Sort of half in, half out of the water. So that gives me 5 10-foot cubes. I can arrange them how I wish, but they need, each cube has to be has a face adjacent to another cube.
Okay.
So given what I do know, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, just along the side of the boat. Sort of half in, half out of the water.
Yep. So 5 feet down in the water, 5 feet above the water.
Yep.
Okay. And so you're just lining them up one next to the other.
Yeah, just in a straight line, basically. Well, actually, before I do that, would I be able to, given the angle I have down towards the bottom, I would be able to see if one was there, right?
Well, I was going off your passive perception before. If you want to make me a perception check, now that you know to look for more than one of them.
Nope. He's right next
So
to you.
now
You don't see him.
you see this one. The water's a little dark. I mean, the shadow of the boat is being cast over on that side, so it's a little hard to see into the water there.
Okay. So 5 cubes from there to there.
So 1, 2, 3.
Actually, sorry. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And let me drop that in chat so you can.
I assume you got this built into your macros and stuff?
I've got the damage. It's in my spellbook, yeah.
Okay.
So it is
Sheets of pure emptiness. Appears in the location you choose. The area of the storm consists of up to 5 10-foot cubes, which you can arrange as you wish. Each cube must have at least one face adjacent to the face of another cube. The area inside the cubes is dimly lit. Each creature in the area must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 4d6 force damage and 46 necrotic on a failed save and half on it. Okay. So I will target for you.
all right.
Target.
Do you have mage armor on? Is that why your AC's 3 or whatever?
Yeah, I'm not
It
sure
is.
why I have. Oh, okay. That's probably worn off by this point.
Well, I just assume you've been recasting it each morning, but if that's not what you've been doing,
I technically don't have it even memorized.
well,
Aha!
let me get rid of that.
Sorry.
Okay, so you can go ahead and do your check and
So this, my staff does not give me bonuses on this because it's not an attack roll. Is that correct?
that is correct.
All right.
All right, we have 3 failures and 1 success. So deal your
Come on,
damage.
Oh, hey.
Above average.
Ooh.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That is quite a lot of damage. And so,
Quite a lot of dice.
why don't you describe the spell as it's being cast?
All right. So Caden leans out over the edge of the railing and just sweeps his hand along the side of the boat. And as his hand moves, just this void appears rippling across the water.
Nice.
And as this void, it's like the water where you do this almost disappears. It's like it just evaporates, almost instantaneously. And coming from that void, even though you can't see them, you hear screams. You don't know how many voices it is. Could be 1, could be 1,000. But they scream out in pain and agony. And then almost as quickly as it appears, it disappears. And just for the briefest of moments, you see 4 marrow in the sweep of your hand that seem to have been caught completely off guard. And you can see the cuts and the searing boils that have appeared on them where they were enveloped in this darkness.
And then Caden will move back.
Would Savior have any kind of sight on
Over there.
what happened?
You might, but you're effectively in the middle of climbing up the
Oh, I see. Right.
main
That's
cell
right.
at this point.
6 seconds. Got it.
And then
It all
as,
happens at the same time.
as Caden is moving, he'll shout out, I see at least 4.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's my turn.
Okay. One of the marrows. Oh, let's get rid of those boxes.
Bye-bye boxes. So is that like a one and done kind of spell, not an ongoing?
Right.
Cool.
That's just the duration is instantaneous.
Sweet. Instant darkness fireball.
Boxes hiding underneath people.
Hidden boxes.
Of emptiness.
Okay. So coming up out of one of those spaces, Caden, you see, or you don't see now. You would have seen if you were still there.
You see nothing.
That's why I moved.
You feel the boat shake again. And this time, the boat lurches strongly.
Oh God.
It's like the pain, caused them to convulse all at the same time. And the boat lurches a good 15, maybe 20 degrees. And I need each of you to make a strength or dexterity saving throw.
Would I have advantage because I assume I was already prone on the ground from the last time?
Sure.
All right.
What's with these threes?
Your darkness is
Okay.
consuming yourself. Oh God.
Oh, I need my portents.
You do.
Can't save you now.
3 and 3.
Do you want to replace?
No, I have to clear it before the roll anyway. So
Oh, okay. So, when the boat lurches, Octavia,
I fall into the water, don't I?
where you're standing against the rail on the side that's dipping closer to the water, you lose your balance.
Oh, jeez.
And all of a sudden, you feel yourself falling.
Oh, man.
And you've just tipped over the railing and into the water.
That's not right. Turn overboard. Oh, dear.
And the water around
Water's
you
cold.
are probably a dozen sailors
Hey, I'm not alone.
who also have been thrown overboard.
What are you
Caden,
doing here?
you lose your footing as you're running across the boat and begin to skid and slide towards a gap in the railing.
Oh, there is a gap right there.
Make me a, I'll say in this case it's going to be a strength check to see if you can grab onto something before you go overboard.
Oh yeah.
not a 3. Come on.
Wow.
Hey, there you go.
All right. So, because you were in the process of running that way, as you sort of fall forward, you manage to kind of turn yourself sideways, and you basically catch one of the railing supports right across the stomach. And you're going to take 3 points of damage from the impact against this wooden support, but you manage to grip it and hang on so that you don't go overboard.
It's funny, the second time Caden's ever been hit is by a boat.
Octavia, you are in the water, and I believe you're wearing a lot of armor.
Is there any ropes hanging from the side by any chance?
Not at this
I think
moment.
so.
They don't typically trail rope along the side of the boat for no good
Oh.
reason.
Oh, you know what? This is okay. Let's try this.
Uh-oh.
First,
Oh.
how much does your armor weigh?
Ritual. Damn. I think it's 45.
Sounds about right.
And your weapons?
45. My shield is 6. My mace +1 is 4. My crossbow is 5.
Okay. And what is your strength?
My strength is 14 +2.
I'm going to say that it's going to take a successful DC 15 strength check for you
Okay.
to stay afloat. If you fail it, you're going to start to sink.
Oh, fun. Ah!
Hey, there we go.
Oh, I can
Ooh.
swim.
So
That
you
is lucky.
swim strongly back towards the boat. And one thing you can't help but notice is that this water is really cold.
Very, very cold. I've noticed.
Really cold.
Like it's ice water.
So
Not very fun.
you're grabbing at the side of the boat and not finding any purchase at the moment, but you're not sinking.
Not thinking. I'll take it. Do I see any of those creatures in the water around me, or just a whole bunch of sailors?
Right now, just a whole bunch of sailors. You don't see anything in the water with you.
Okay. Well, let's just focus, guys. Come on, we can do this.
Caravan, you're downstairs.
All right. So, assuming I use half my movement to pick myself up, I'd like to make my way to the top deck.
Okay, wait a second. I've got something I want to roll.
All right.
Uh-oh. Boat damage.
Okay, high it is. Where you're laying on the floor, and as the boat lurches again, a barrel of some kind
Oh god.
dislodges and comes rolling along the floor at you. What would you like to do?
I would like to. Is it kind of like Donkey Kong style, where it's like a very narrow corridor and there's nowhere for me to move out of the way, kind of a situation, or what's?
You're basically laying flat on the floor at the entrance to the hold, and there's a barrel was close to the bottom of the stairs that is tipped over and is rolling in your direction.
All right, so I'd like to try it and scramble myself up onto my feet, and depending on like how far it is, either just brace myself for the impact of the barrel, or try to start making my way up the stairs.
So you've got, since it takes 15 feet of your movement to stand up, I'm going to say you've got enough movement to get up, and you can either dive out of the way or try to stop the barrel.
I'm gonna try to stop the barrel.
All right, make me a strength check.
It's full of acid.
High rolls.
Lucky for you, the roll I made meant the barrel was empty.
Ooh.
It was not a water barrel or a barrel of flour. So,
Or a flaming barrel of oil.
correct. You have grabbed the barrel, stopped it, but it is delaying your attempt to get back upstairs.
All right.
Now you can still move, but basically your action was either get out of the way of the barrel or stop it.
Right. All right. I'll start making my way up the stairs then. Sit in the
Okay.
barrel.
Again, this isn't a very big boat, so it takes you like 8 feet of movement to get to the top of the stairs.
All right, and from there, have I got line of sight?
You don't see anything, except you hear a lot of splashing coming from your right, and you notice there are a lot fewer sailors on deck than there were a minute ago.
All right. Can I see Xavier and Caden?
Yes, you can. Caden is gripping, imagine like that, it's the scene where you see people falling and grabbing onto a flagpole. Where they're hunched over it. Yeah, that's him, only sideways.
All right.
And Xavier's up there like, what's the problem?
Got my feet dangling.
All right.
Cross-legged around the mast.
So I will make my way to the right side of the ship and checking my inventory real quick. See if I have any kind of rope. Looks like I do not.
Lucky for you, there's lots of rope on the boat.
All right. I would either this turn or next turn, just start tying myself on to this rope, around my waist or something to that effect. since I've got my own heavy armor, and I certainly don't want to try and risk the waters with my rolls tonight.
Okay. Well, you grab the rope and you start preparing to tie it around yourself.
All right, and that'll be me.
Also, I forgot to make Octavia. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, because it's so cold.
It is so
Grounding.
cold.
It's very
Swallow
cold.
water.
I feel the cold.
You do. You feel it's very cold, but it doesn't seem to be gripping your muscles like you know it's going to in just a minute.
Just a minute. Jesus. No pressure, no pressure.
So, let's see. Who can see down? All right. So, Xavier,
Mhm.
you see movement up there,
Okay.
and you see this guy kind of disappearing underneath the boat.
Oh,
That can't
God.
be good.
All right.
Nice.
Not enough time to tell anybody.
And as he gets, I guess if you're trying to track his movement, you see him from your position, and now that he's out of the shadows, he's about 10 feet down in the water.
Okay.
And he's carrying a fairly large harpoon.
Oh. Oh no. Okay.
But instead of throwing it, you see him reach up and he grabs one of the sailors flailing about in the water and pulls him under and makes bites into his neck.
Oh no. All right.
And you start to see some
Not
red
good.
blood, starting to appear in the water.
Oh God, this is a terrifying view of the battlefield. All right.
Then there's gonna be sharks. Oh jeez.
Ice sharks.
The next
watch
thing
out.
you see is another one taking off underneath the boat. This one comes up right underneath Octavia. And Octavia, you feel
No,
a
thank
hand
No.
gripping
don't-
your
I don't
leg.
want it.
And
No.
it tries to reach for you, and you're kicking your legs, and you feel the rake of claws across your leg. And let's see how much it hurts.
It's gonna hurt.
Well, it might not. It might just hit your armor.
All that heavy armor.
That's gonna miss.
Ah, I am a slick little seal in these waters. That's right.
And having felt the claws rake across the front of the metal guards, shin guards you're wearing, you know there's something down there, and you start kicking even more vigorously, and you feel another claw.
Oh no.
Is this guy
And this
still
time you
10 feet
feel
down?
the claw as your foot impacts it, and he doesn't grab a hold. And Xavier, you see another sailor disappear beneath the surface of the water
Right side or left side?
on the right side.
Oh jeez. Okay.
And then you see one of these marrows start he's got these big old claws. And you see him kind of grip into the side of the boat, and he starts climbing up the side of the boat. And Xavier, it's your turn.
All right. The one attacking Octavia, is he closer to the surface?
No, he's at her feet, so he's again about 6 feet down. You think that an arrow shot might still hit him?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. But I can see him though, right?
Yep, you can see him.
All right. I'm gonna hunter's mark him for my bonus,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna try to put an arrow right between his fish eyes. And I'm gonna give him. Oh, never mind. That's a different spell. And I'm gonna make this count. I'm gonna shoot a +1 arrow at him.
All right, so you pull out a dragon bone tipped arrow.
Yep. Don't fail me now. Huh. 25.
And with a 25, that will hit.
Nice.
All right. So we get some of that, and we get hunter's mark. And then sneak attack.
All right. So, willing this arrow to find its mark, you pull back, and as you release it, when the arrow tip hits the water, there's not even a ripple.
Ooh.
It's just, and you see its speed. It's almost like it doesn't lose speed going through the water, and it impacts this thing right in the cleave of its neck, where its shoulder and head meet.
Their weak point.
And you see it just stop swimming. It stops struggling and just slowly starts to sink.
Nice.
And I'll yell out, Octavia, there's at least 2 more by you. You need to get up on the boat quick.
I don't want to be down here either, I promise.
Nice.
And I will use my movement to just
This wasn't
cross
my
my legs around
plan.
the mast again, just to, nice and firm.
My plan was so much better than this, I swear.
Knock an arrow and start scanning for the next target.
All right. Caden, you are prone, gripping the support of the railing.
All right, so what can I see right now?
Make me a perception check. All you can see at the moment is that guy right there.
Marrow
He's-
1.
And you see a sailor struggling, trying to fight against this thing as the sailor's been pulled under.
All right.
Oh, you also do see Octavia, and you see, again, multiple sailors out there in the water. Let me put some more tokens on there, just that became a little more important.
All right, so I'll pull myself to my feet. Get a firm grip on the railing in case the boat rocks again. And then aim at Marrow number 1 there with a chill touch.
All right.
So that's going to be a ranged spell attack, which gets my +2.
Go for it.
All right.
That's definitely a hit. So describe the chill touch spell.
Okay, so gazing balefully at this marrow that's interrupting our voyage, I stretch out my hand, and this ghastly, necrotic hand sort of just appears out of nowhere and wraps around its throat.
And as it
starts
wraps,
squeezing.
as it wraps around its throat and starts squeezing, you can almost, it's a weird vision to see black smoke billowing underwater. But the magical nature of this hand, as it touches the marrow's flesh, this dark necrotic energy starts wafting off of it like smoke. And you see the thing release its grip on the sailor and start ripping at its own throat, trying to get this hand off, and it just passes right through it. And it leaves gashes on its own throat as it too succumbs to its wounds and begins to slowly sink.
Nice.
Right, and obviously I stood up and took an action, but if there's a rope or something handy that can toss Octavia's way or just over the side for give somebody a grip, I'll try to do that too.
You can grab a rope and prepare to do that.
All right.
All right. Xavier, you see another sailor pulled underneath the water.
Oh god. They're dropping like flies,
That
man.
guy.
Dropping like flies.
Dibs on his bunk.
So the sideways S guys are the ones who have been pulled underneath or are struggling at the surface because of something that seems to have them. Octavia, you should go ahead and make me another Constitution save.
Oh dear. Hey, I'm so good. I'm good.
The adrenaline pumping through your body from the knowledge that something just tried to pull you underwater gives you a surge of energy.
And I am able to jump out of the water like a dolphin and land in the ship.
No. But you are totally capable of holding your turn until somebody throws a rope down.
I'm holding my turn until someone throws a rope down.
Although you can see Aravan and Caden both. You can attempt to like swim closer to them if you want to.
So that's fine too. I'll swim to here. Looking for rope along the way. There you go.
And at this point,
Ice coming out of my nose.
there are a couple of sailors who've also been grabbing ropes, and they're starting to throw them over the side. There's one up this way that one of these sailors has just grabbed. There's one off the back of the boat.
Keep them off. Thank you.
So a couple of the sailors now have ropes and are starting to try to climb back out of the water. And Octavia is holding her turn. So, Caravan.
All right. I am going to make use of 2 sorcery points to cast Bless on Xavier, Caden, and Octavia as a bonus action to
Okay.
effectively give them a plus 1d4 to attack rolls and saving throws. And hopefully then using my action to throw a rope down Octavia's way.
All right.
And like as many ropes as I can throw that way for sailors and the like.
I want to say it's basically one because I'm assuming you're going to help try to pull them up. Now, if you just want to
Yeah,
tie it off
yeah.
and leave it dangling, that's fine. You can do more than one.
I will throw them off and leave them dangling then.
Okay. So there will be a rope there, but you're not going to give any special advantage trying to pull them up.
All right.
So you spend your action. You've put 2 more ropes over the side, one right there at Octavia, and then you can move to wherever you'd like to throw another rope over.
I'd like to grab that rope.
You grab it. And now that you've delayed your turn, you can make an athletics or acrobatics check to try to climb the rope.
Kind of up here to throw it to these guys in the back.
Okay. All right. The 16, you successfully pull yourself back up on the deck.
Nice.
And we'll say that Caden dropped it right there. So you get back up on the deck. That was a bonus action, some movement, and an action.
Yes, sir.
Any life. All right. Octavia, you just use your action to climb out. Okay. This guy.
That was my held action. So do I get
Yes.
another turn now?
No.
Oh, good beat. I thought that might be my turn.
You moved in the initiative order by holding.
I understand.
Xavier, you can see there is quite a bit of blood swirling in the water up here at this point. And
Oh, man.
you see that sailor limply rising to the surface. And you see another sailor pulled under. And that guy is dead. So he is fading from view.
Bye, Mr.
And that guy is dead. He's also fading from view. And this guy is going to make a claw attack. And that hits. So all of you hear a scream coming from behind you. And you see the first sailor who spotted these guys go tumbling over the side.
Nobody likes the tattletale.
Xavier.
All right. So, I believe is Marrow 5 still visible?
Yes, he is.
All right. I'm going to bonus action move my Hunter's Mark over to him and shoot him with a regular arrow.
Okay.
25?
That's a hit.
One of those. And one of those. One of those.
Nice.
Ow!
So this guy who has just pulled a sailor over the side and was about to drop off the side of the boat and take his prize with him, you put an arrow right through his eye. And he falls from the side of the boat all right. But it's with a lifeless, limp body.
Oh, no! I feel so bad.
I guess his own lifeless limp body, not with the sailor's lifeless limp body. Or is it with the sailor's lifeless?
That's it for Xavier.
All right. Caden.
All right.
You know that you just saw or you heard someone getting pulled under up in this direction. You haven't seen anyone up there just yet. And you still don't. Not from where you're standing.
All right. So I'll move up here.
All right.
There's still a solid railing up there, right?
Yes. But
Alright,
from
so-
there, you're now basically looking down at these things, and there's not, blood and other things in the way. So you can now see both marrows.
Oh, there's two of them there.
Sure is.
Okay. Let's see here. So we got a 10-foot radius sphere. Seems
Oh, that's about right.
Which I can position underwater. I guess the 2 sailors up top are dead already.
One of them is dead. Oops.
So I'll try and
That guy.
position it.
That guy's dead. The other 2 look like they're being pulled under against their will.
So it would be possible to position that 10-foot sphere so it hits both marrows, but not the sailors.
Yeah, you can position it like below the sailors and where you see the marrows.
All right. And then I'll cast Shatter with a 3rd level spell slot, which gives it an extra D8.
Okay.
But that is a Constitution saving throw.
All right, we'll go ahead and target them and do your save and damage.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the extra D8, which is actually not set up right now. 1 second. Create action. No, not cast.
Just roll a d8. I can apply it to them.
1 second, I almost got it. This way I only have to do it once.
Fair enough.
D8. Type is thunder.
All right. And I guess describe Shatter.
All right, so since this is underwater, there's this low, very deep bass note that sort of shivers out of the ocean. And up here, that's all we can see happening. But below, it's slamming into the marrows with violent force.
All right, and so as this, this wave is just, it's magically encased in this bubble, but it's, even though it's a low frequency, it's bouncing off this containing thing so many times that it's like the water in that sphere is roiling. And the marrows seem to be, you're pretty sure if you could hear them, they'd be screaming. And the people that they were pulling under they break free momentarily and swim desperately for the surface. But the marrows, as the spell expires, are grasping out, trying to find the prey they just lost. So that was it.
Yeah, I'm just reiterating that I have a very strong grip on the railing.
Fair enough.
Just in case.
So, one of the marrow that was just assaulted by this sphere of intense sound energy reaches up and successfully grabs the sailor, and you can see like the claws sinking into this guy's leg as he's pulled back down, and you can tell that he was pulled down right as he was breaking the surface and trying to get a breath, and that cold water rushes into his lungs, and he's struggling fearfully, trying to get away. But it looks like he's probably not going to make it. Caravan.
All right. I would like to Misty stepped my way to the other end of the boat where I just saw this guy go overboard. And from there, use an action to throw a rope from the side of the ship over for him.
All right.
And with him, I can stay on that rope to help pull him up.
Okay. So as you throw the rope over, he grabs it, thankfully, and with you helping pull him up, he easily makes it back up the side.
Awesome.
And he lays on the deck and just is shivering from the cold.
And once I got him up, I will make use of my movement to return to the other side of the ship to help start pulling as many people up as I can, like next turn.
All right. Octavia, you are dripping wet.
I am on the ship, though.
You are on the ship, but the water was cold. Being out of the water and in the air is almost as bad.
Oh, geez. Well, I have just like little fire. I'm trying to find the slippy fire I can make. Are these marrows, are they above water or are they below water?
They're below water at the moment.
And I can't really do much with them. Shoot. I've been looking and I don't have anything to warm myself.
You just set
You're
the
a
whole boat
fire
on fire.
cleric and you can't
I
warm
thought
yourself?
about it. I thought about it. I am going to grab a. Where is it? Oh my goodness! I just saw it and my finger scrolled. My bedroll, and I'm going to like wrap myself in it to warm myself up because I don't want to die of being cold.
Okay, I'm going to assume that like your inventory of goods is like with your bags somewhere where you were sleeping, or somewhere in storage. I'm assuming you didn't have your bedroll and everything when you went over the side of the boat.
Well, okay, that's reasonable. Got it?
I mean, you can like you can dash downstairs or something and try to go get out of or try to find some warm spot. But if you have your bedroll on you, then it also is soaked.
The spell light, it's not warm, it's just light, right?
It's just light.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, I'll run downstairs and I don't want to get like frostbite and die, so don't really have a choice here. Like you guys are doing a great job, and I'm gonna run downstairs and get warm.
All right. So now that Octavia has been in the cold water for 30 seconds, or not even 30 seconds, like 15 seconds, she's like, I'm out.
I'm told I don't deal with cold very well. I'm covered in water and cold, and it's cold outside. So yeah, I'm gonna go warm up. Sorry.
All right.
As a human, I would do that. Okay, it's a very humane thing to do. Any one of these sailors will be doing the same thing in just a minute. Promise.
Except for the dead ones.
They're already warm, so we're good.
Wow.
Okay. This guy manages to break free and get back to the surface. And that's where we're going to take our 5-minute break.
All right.
Oh, jeez. So I think I cast the spell before, but it didn't click the effect button. So now you guys should have +1d4 to your attacks and saves.
Oh,
Nice.
that would have been helpful.
It's it's a delayed effect.
I don't think there's anything that's happened since you did the spell that would have mattered.
Adam, your favorite sister-in-law says hello.
Hello, favorite sister-in-law.
Hello.
Hello. Maybe I'll do the Mrs. Doubtfire voice for my character. Oh, hello there. Anyway, Xavier, you're up.
Oh. Well, hello. Do I see any of these marrow dudes up in my sight lines?
You see that one.
Okay. I will bonus action move my hunter's mark to him and shoot him.
I choose you.
Do you choose him?
Choose you, Pikachu. 18.
That'll barely hit.
Oh, I'm blessed. That was
Not really.
terrible.
It was a grazing blow.
Do the sailors around him count as allies?
Well, you obviously thought they did before, so why would I stop you now?
Okay. Die. No, die.
Maybe they won't consider him friends
That's
after
my turn.
this.
Anything else?
No. I'm not moving anymore.
Caden.
Already?
Oh,
Already?
yeah, I'm quick, man.
That's what she said. Oh!
But
Yeah.
all right. I guess my best option right now is just go with another shatter. I'll just do a second level shatter this time.
Getting stingy with the spells. I like it.
All right. There's the save.
Excellent. Excellent.
Here's the damage.
Ha-ha!
Did they both save?
They did, and they're both still alive.
Damn.
I mean, you're obviously cheating.
Like I said, I'm glad you're getting stingy with the spells.
Wow, that was. Could have been better. And then I will.
Nope, your turn's over. I've already moved on.
Actually, I'll just stay here. That's fine.
Okay. Actually, no. He's going to do... And you see one of the two dead bodies floating here disappear under the surface.
Oh no! I tried to save you.
Aravan.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can spot that guy that just went under, the big marrow dude that just went under?
Sure.
Right.
You can certainly try.
14.
Fail.
All right. So I'll shoot out a general curse in that guy's direction for firing off a blast towards the one that I can't see.
A blast of what?
How about the venom bite? Ooh, that's not the venom bite.
Go for it.
Oh, not save, I guess. Boom.
Well, it rolled 2 saves for some reason.
Oh,
Anyway,
I think-
deal your damage.
okay. Damage. Boom. And he will have disadvantage on his first attack roll.
Well, he definitely would. Octavia.
I am warming myself below decks.
Make me an investigation check.
Oh, geez. Can't find my stuff, huh?
You find an evil barrel.
It's a mimic.
All right.
Attacked one of your party members.
You go back to where your stuff was being kept, and you pull out a blanket from your bedroll and start stripping off all the now soaked armor you're wearing, and start trying to dry yourself off and get warm.
Perfect. I love it. I feel happier already. I'm assuming everyone above hand, above deck is doing just fine. Not even worried. I think they totally got this.
All right. And it's only, say, I don't know, 25, 30 seconds after you've been, drying yourself off and everything, that you remember that this is the bunking area and there's hammocks, and you've had a small audience that were all very, very attentive.
I'll wave.
That guy's dead. And Xavier.
All right, so I don't currently see anybody floating around. I'm going to try to make a perception check to see if I can see any large bodies
Go for it.
swimming around. 23?
You can just barely make out the Amaro. He's probably 50 feet under the water at this point. But given where you are, and like the light is fading very quickly down where he is. But you can just make that guy out.
He's going way down under the water. I will try to keep an eye on him, and I will move my hunter's mark to him.
Okay.
And I guess ready in action if he comes within 5 feet of surface. And
All right.
That's my turn.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that Xavier, with his vantage point, is the only one that has a chance of seeing that guy.
Right.
So we're effectively out of combat at this point. And assuming you guys are trying to assist the sailors getting back on the boat, you take stock. There are 3 dead sailors, including the one that was taken underneath the water, 1 badly injured sailor, and the rest are all very cold, chilled, and mechanically have all taken at least 1 point of exhaustion from being in the water.
But not me, because I'm warm.
You did manage to resist the terrible effects.
I am so smart. Take that, audience.
So, what would you guys like to do? You've gotten everybody, all the living sailors, back in the boat, and they're all, attempting to get dry. The room where Octavia has now wrapped herself in a blanket and tried to, lay out her armor so it dries, is now crowded with people, in blankets and trying to get warm. Most of them were just wearing, some kind of warm gear, not as badly or not as worrisome as being caught in the water with armor.
Can I use this to get the water out of my armor?
Absolutely.
I love it.
You're gonna use a spell to do that?
Yes, I am cold, and I want to be warm, and I want to put my clothes back on. I want to get it out of my fox fur.
But
I want to be warm.
you're not, you didn't strip down naked. You're still wearing
Oh
like,
no, yeah, but I'd like
Yeah.
to get like
Tunic.
as much water off of me and off of my armor so I can redress and be warm again.
so it doesn't say what it says range of 30 feet. Basically, you get everyone to gather around you,
And get rid of all of
And-
the water.
and
Don't
everyone who
destroy all
got
the fresh
dumped.
water on the boat.
You are you're trying to confine the spell to the radius of the people around you,
Human bilge pump.
and the water that was soaking all of them, and the towels and the blankets you've been using to try to get warm. You essentially snap your finger and it just disappears.
Oh, that's so much better.
The really interesting part about the water disappearing is that you're now, your armor, yourself, the other sailors are all coated with a fine layer of salt.
Don't be
But-
so salty.
It's definitely better than being cold and wet.
I agree. Now we can have margaritas, boys. This will be exciting.
One of the sailors, who's kind of amazed at what you've just done, kind of looks at you and goes, "What's a margarita?"
From a land far, far away. I'll show you one day.
Okay. Is anybody else getting me feedback?
Yeah, like an echo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why am I echoing?
I'm not
I
getting.
think we all are echoing. I blame Lucas.
I'm great.
I'm just going to assume it's either Ryan or Amanda. They're the ones with all the internet problems.
Probably.
So Xavier's just gonna kind of chill on the mast using his eagle eye glasses to try to get us a better vantage point of really anything, like a notable ice structure or even more of those longboats that we saw before. Or not the longboats, but the rafts that the hunter guys were using.
What kind of hunter guys?
The
ice hunter.
in my notebook, those guys. Yeah. Hold on. Got them on here somewhere. Ice hunters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. The ones that,
Very good.
like ran from us. Those guys.
The better question, and I think this is truly the important question. Are they in fact good hunters if they're in the sea of moving ice and they have to hunt for it?
No. I agree. Maybe that's why they have to move around a lot.
Okay, so do you guys make any attempt to recover the other bodies?
Probably not.
How fast is
Fair
the water
enough.
moving?
Well, the sailors might want to do that, but
I guess kind of following whatever Captain LaRusta's saying with this one, I guess.
The captain basically says that he'd rather just get out of here. They just have a burial at sea anyway. So he doesn't want to stick around in case there are more of those marrows.
So do I see maybe a better heading or a better path for us to go on from my vantage point?
No.
Just miles and miles of ice.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
almost like you're in a vast sea.
Of moving ice.
Yep.
What?
Well, I
I mean,
still
hold on.
believe we head
Let me pull
north.
up the map again. I know it's in here somewhere. Map, Sword Coast. Where's the map?
I believe that we keep heading north, and I'm just gonna again keep a feel out for the frost of that dragon. See if it gets noticeably colder. Obviously, it's gonna get colder from the north, but I'm talking like a huge drop. And again, structures and any kind of civilization.
I'm gonna make my way back up top and oh goodness. Probably like come up here and kind of keep a watch out, see if I can see anything more closely in the water now and shenanigans.
So I would just like to point out that the sea has at least 100-mile radius area. So it's a big place.
This could take a while.
Yes,
I have a feeling
still
we're going
like
to
to
spend
look
the
for
next 20
local-
sessions moving one square at a time.
Do what?
Said I think we're going to spend the next 20 sessions going one square at a time.
Nope. We had that part of the adventure. That was the road from Baldur's Gate to, from Waterdeep to Neverwinter.
Ah,
No, I guess it was Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep.
it's the whole
That
thing.
was the crazy long trek.
Okay.
But you do spend the rest of the day traveling north, and you don't have any other issues. People are just trying to get rest and recovered from your encounters. And you definitely hear a voice. It's kind of a quiet voice in your heads that says, "Stop rolling ones."
On what?
Right?
I've been rolling great tonight. Oh, for the
So-
D6s. Ah, yeah.
So you sleep through the night, and the next day you continue on your journey. And I need 3 people to roll d6s.
All right, I'm going to roll one.
I'm gonna not
Yeah,
do
what?
it this time.
5!
Woo! We
And
did
I want
so
to
good,
make
guys.
a note that from now on, when Xavier's not like staying warm, like under deck or whatever, he's staying on top of the mast where he was before.
Okay. That will make it somewhat interesting when they actually want to use the sail, but sure.
I can help. I'll just sit
and
above the
speaking
sail.
of helping, I am gonna like tie myself to something on the ship so I don't fall off again.
Have a
Yeah.
10-foot tether so you can only walk 10 foot around the mast.
Lessons learned. I'm going to secure myself.
Okay. So you pass the next day uneventfully. All you see as you continue traveling is ice, ocean, some more ocean, a lot more ice.
Look at over there. There's ice.
In the afternoon, there's ice, and then more ice. And at night,
That iceberg over there. It's
Shaved ice.
like a fish.
Octavia, haven't we already passed that one?
No. The other one was more of like a dolphin-y type. This one's definitely a fish feel to it. You can tell because the way the fin looks on the iceberg. Although it could have just melted. I don't think it's hot enough to melt.
Very well.
Now I need 3 more D6s.
Caden, you gonna give us that 6?
Yeah, Caden, you go first.
Already. Oh, okay. The other missing number.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, I thought it was a 6.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, I need 1 more D6.
Come on,
There
Airvan.
we go.
6!
Hey!
Oh,
Yep,
Caden, he did it!
Made it in first.
Caden did
He did it
first.
first. We've rolled every one of the D6. Hey, good team.
So, Caden. That night, as you guys are continuing your practice of sleeping on an ice floe, right?
Oh yeah. Especially after those marrows.
So that night,
Trolls and barrows, you know. Which one do we really want to fight?
for some reason, you're having a hard time getting to sleep. So you crawl out of your little snow shelter, and are just kind of sitting around, looking up at the stars. You know, the sky looks a little different up here, and you notice just at the edge of your senses that you think you see a little flicker of something on the surface of the water. It's like the moon's out, but it's not particularly bright. But it's kind of a quiet night. The water's pretty still. A lot of wind, but something keeps kind of flickering in the distance.
Who sees that?
Caden does.
Oh.
What's Caden do?
What do you want to do?
What time of night is it?
It's probably 11:30 at night.
Okay.
Most of the crew's only been asleep for maybe an hour or so.
I'll watch it and see if I can make any details out or anything.
As you're watching, and as you're kind of focusing on it and keeping a better eye on it, you see that it's very rhythmic. Like you see a slight flash. A few seconds later, another one. A few seconds later, another one. And it's slowly moving across the horizon. It's not at the limits of your vision, but you can just see it's slowly moving from your left to your, from your right to your left, out in the water. And it seems to be getting just a little bit closer until eventually you can see that there's actually 2 of those small, almost canoe-like boats that the ice hunters use.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I'm assuming there's sailors on watch and so on, right?
Not really. Up here, about the only thing you can watch for is some of the things like trolls and bears, and those are generally rare encounters. So they take most of the chance to just hide, in their little snow caves or stay on the boat and just try to get some sleep.
So the entire crew is asleep.
There's probably one or two of them that's still awake, but it's not like they're posting a full watch.
Okay, well, I'll go wake somebody up. It says, hey, there's boats out there. Might want to do something about that.
And
Who are you waking up?
that's a good question. Who are you waking up?
Captain, I guess, if nobody else is on taking command of the watch, whatever.
Okay. So you go. You're pretty sure you remember where the captain made his little snow den. And as you get closer, you're kind of like, Captain.
I'm confused. Are we on a boat or on?
No, you're on
ice?
an ice floe. My understanding was the standard practice was going to be pull up the boat on an ice floe at night and make yourselves little like snow caves to sleep in.
Yeah.
Because it's more comfortable and warmer.
Okay. I missed that part.
Yeah, they probably didn't explain that in the recap. Thanks, Amanda.
Hi, I got the important details.
Okay, so I go wake up the captain.
All right. So he eventually kind of pops his head out of his little snow cave and says, "What is it? What's happening?"
There appear to be two canoes out in the distance, slowly coming this way. Thought you should be aware.
And they were getting closer, but they weren't really angled towards you. They were just kind of moving from the distance, sort of obliquely past you. But you describe that to the captain. He says it's just the two.
That's all I can make out so far.
Well, those ice hunters are they're a mysterious lot at times. I would not have expected them to be out in the night fishing or hunting, but I guess if you're willing, keep an eye on them. Mark their position and where they're traveling. With luck, they may be moving towards what we seek.
All right.
And he goes back into his little snow cave. It's an interesting conversation you've had. Basically, this guy had his head poked above the surface of the snow.
Okay. I guess Caden keeps an eye on him.
And over the course of, the next 35, 40 minutes, they kind of pass by your position. They got close enough for you to be confident there were two of the boats. You've thought maybe there might be as many as 4 people in each boat. And the glinting you saw, you're pretty sure was the paddles. As they came up out of the water, one of them just happened to kind of be turned so that it reflected the moonlight back at you. So they passed by without ever getting within, I don't know, what would the distances be there? Maybe a mile of where you are? Oh, could you tell how many people were in a boat from a mile away? Maybe half a mile. Anyway, they continue on, and they seem to be heading generally north, but maybe a little northwest.
So north by northwest.
Maybe more like northwest by north. I wouldn't want to get slapped with a lawsuit for infringing.
North by northwest.
Not south by not southeast.
Correct. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So I imagine once you're gone, or once they're gone, you go back. Finally, the kind of slight boredom of just watching this boat slowly travel away and past you, got you to where you could go to sleep, and you drift off.
Okay.
So, this is a partially eventful night, not just for Caden.
Oh.
Octavia.
Oh no.
Total
How did I
us out
know?
again.
Do what?
Octavia, you have a strange dream.
Oh, jeez. At least it's a dream, I hope.
You ate spoiled
haven't-
ham.
You haven't dreamed like this in years.
Go on.
It's almost more of a memory, but it's kind of jumbled together. You're remembering or dreaming about what it was like for you when you were a dragon.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
brings up interesting things.
What you're remembering in particular is the last conversation that you had, I guess it was not so much a conversation as the last meeting you had with Bahamut. You've often thought of his last words to you. It's one of the few true memories you had. When he told you that he was going to give you a chance to earn your place back amongst his kind. But that the challenges before you would be great. And you must show truly that you understand what it is to have great power. And he kind of recounts to you some of the things that you did to draw his disfavor while you were still in your former life.
It's because I ate that ham, probably.
Well, you tell us.
I don't know.
Well, this is your chance to
Oh, jeez.
explore your backstory.
I was not prepared for this. You didn't
I
give me a
know.
warning.
I sure didn't.
Jesus. It's my dream. No one else gets to know. Only me.
You talk in your
Okay.
sleep.
Oh, jeez. That's interesting.
And I understand every word.
You know Draconic?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I think most of the party does.
I think everyone does. Okay. Well. Then...
So the question for Amanda is,
Oh, man.
what crimes or what bad behavior are you having to earn your repentance for?
Okay, wait, let me bring up my backstory real quick. I think I wrote something kind of the idea of it in there somewhere.
You're tearing off the tag on a mattress that says "Do not remove."
And
Oh,
just as a
how did he
warning,
know?
just as a warning, I picked on Amanda first because I think her backstory needs the most exploration.
Oh, geez.
But Xavier, you and Caden are both about to have these same dreams.
Okay.
Something about this this night in this place, as you all reflecting on why you're here.
Is it like a full moon or something?
No, it's actually a new moon.
Oh,
I
maybe
said-
that's why it's so weird.
Lunar, shut up. I'm focusing.
That's why you're repenting. You're yelling at your cat.
Let's mean to the cat. Okay, so I think I can't find it exactly, but in my head, who else is on here? Just me? Okay, I'm gonna go with she became a greedy little hoarder, because dragons like their treasure and stuff, and she would use people for her bidding, and then she would probably end up eating them or something. Really bad stuff dragons do. That sounds reasonable. Let's see.
Sounds a lot like
So-
your last character.
What you're saying is that
Well, she would.
even though
she would, send adventurers out to get treasure and promise them riches or whatever, and then just end up killing them off. Yeah, thanks for doing that, but we're done here now. And it's like, look, you don't really have to just kill all these people after making promises to them. You could actually, I don't know. That sounds good though. I feel like that's a dragony thing to do.
it's certainly very chromatic dragony.
It's gold, so it's kind of chromatic-y. I have to read up on gold dragons. I know you told me to do that a long time ago, and I never did. I meant to ask Scott.
So let's say that maybe short of actually eating innocent people that you've employed for your own gain, that
I use people like puppets
yeah,
for my own gain.
And Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon, he has many dragons in his service, and he understands that the mortal races can be fickle, they can be problematic, but still, in the great scheme of things, he serves order and goodness. And while it is important to punish the wicked, it is important to try to keep powerful magical treasures that humans in particular really don't even have the lifespan to grasp and understand the magnitude of what they can do. It's also still important to, abide by your word, honor the deals that you make, and not use your superior knowledge, age, and experience to effectively trick and scam people or servants out of their rightful pay and compensation. And you had definitely veered into the realm of that humans and other lesser races are just so untrustworthy, so prone to evil, that you had convinced yourself that the best thing you could do was use their own greed against them.
It worked.
Use their willingness to risk their own lives, acquiring goods or items of power that they didn't understand in return for gold or some other bauble of their desire. But eventually you just found it was easier to tell them that you'd compensate them, to tell them you'd take care of what they wanted. And when they returned with what you needed, to take it and then fulfill the letter of your bargains, even though you often violated their spirit. Bahamut saw you slowly taking the path that has led your chromatic brethren to the ends of evil, of enslavement. He saw the desire for wealth and items of power and responsibility growing inside of you without the necessary wisdom to actually keep them safe and make use of them. And so you're now remembering the day that Bahamut told you that your mission, you were going to be sent away to live as a human, as one of these lesser races.
Evil little thing.
To know what it was like to be subject to the whims of someone much, much more powerful than you. And given everything that's happened to you the last year, the friends you've made, the adventure you've gone on, and the task that is in front of you, you really wonder, are you up to it? Can you actually do what needs doing? And can you redeem yourself in the eyes of your God? Are you truly being unselfish? Are you truly living up to the responsibilities of what Bahamut has laid upon you? And his words keep ringing in your ear. You have to prove yourself. And you wonder just how far you're going to have to go to do that.
I feel like this is because instead of saving sailors, I went to try myself off. Now he's sending me dreams like, you failed that one, but I'll give you another chance. You're supposed to help people.
I don't know.
Nah, man.
You're going to have to interpret it for yourself.
That is a lot to dream about, okay?
It is. Xavier,
Yes.
you also are dreaming this night.
Woohoo.
Your dream, you've had many times. You dream of being inside a ruined castle, marking the location of traps that are so obvious that surely any idiot could see them. But you've dealt with some real idiots in your time. So you point them out. You leave markings. You leave instructions. Don't step here. Don't step there. Tripwire cut. And you remember the rush of panic as you saw a large red dragon. The fear that washed over you. You flash forward to the anger you felt. You got back to your village to find it destroyed. What else fills this dream?
The fight with the dragon. My brother and I battling it. Getting bitten. Losing consciousness. Waking up and seeing nothing but ruin and my brother's arm laying there. Nothing but his rapier and a dragon scale.
You flash forward this dream memory. You see the first time you met your traveling companions. You start flashing over all the things you've been through together. And yet at no time have you found that dragon. Are you going to find it? Is it involved in this grand plot to resurrect Tiamat? Is your brother really gone? You dream about your brother lost, no weapon, missing an arm, begging in the streets. Dream about him, his bones rotting in that dungeon, moldering in a pile of hundreds, thousands of other bones. You see him as a young boy, laughing as you're hiding in the woods, playing your games. But you keep coming back to that dragon. Keep seeing the destruction it wrought. And when you wake up in the morning, you know that you're going to see something just as bad, just as awful. You find this dragon, the one you've been sent to find. The one that you know in your bones has something to do with the disappearance of the person you want to find. As so many other people have disappeared when they fell under a dragon's gaze. Caden, your dreams are also troubled this night. But for you, it's over and over. You see two scenes. One, you see a man, young man, who you only catch a partial glimpse of as he walks out of your house, your mother lying dead on the floor, her spell book in his grasp. And then you see an older man. Sitting, talking, as though he's never committed the first crime. In a castle floating in the sky. And the rage within you boils every time you see that room. Every time you relive throwing your magics against him. Desperately seeking his destruction. What else do you dream about? What other things do you see that fuel your anger?
I'd say I see the people who refuse to help track down what happened to my mother, who said to let it go, to that it wasn't worth it. People who didn't care.
And as you see each of those faces, those people who did nothing for you, your dream slowly gives way as you flash back and forth. Your vision expands. And instead of seeing that one face, you now see your companion standing next to you, helping you seek your vengeance, standing by your side in battle. You see people who are helping you. People who have not let this crime go unanswered. And you wake up filled with a sense of purpose and resolve that you will find that man again. And you and your companions will not let him escape a second time. Aravan, you also dream. But you dream of the night you killed your mother. What does that look like?
So it was a night that started off just about like all the others, except as it was going, the hours continued to tick by, Aravan was kind of wishing more and more the clock would slow down, kind of a thing. As like the hour was drawing closer and closer, knowing what was going to be done. And finally met up with his mother at the scheduled timing and made one of his first kills ever. And looking back in that moment, now dreaming about it, just how wholeheartedly enthusiastic he had been in that moment, fully believing himself to be on the side of right, before finding out at a later time that the wool had been pulled over his eyes.
And as you relive that almost naive enthusiasm, the complete conviction that you were doing what was right and necessary, you think about, you see things that you've done the last year. You see the times that you have taken a stance, that you've argued with your companions, knowing that what you're doing is the right thing. And yet the doubt gnaws at you. Is it really the right thing? Is everything you've done been like that? You see the council, and even in your dreams, you think to yourself, are they using me like my father did? You wake up disturbed. You've had these kind of dreams before. You've faced these doubts. Yet you've overcome them and continued forward. Sometimes the battles are hard. Much harder than your young, naive self ever dreamed they could be. As you wake up, you're prepared to face the day, knowing that somewhere out in this vast, frigid expanse is at least one of the answers you're looking for. And so as everybody wakes up in the morning, everyone's a little less talkative than they normally are. Somehow you know that each of you had, if not bad dreams, then certainly important dreams. But you still look out at that empty ocean with nothing to see but the ice, the water. And next time, that's where we'll pick up.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Good session, Ben.
Great session.
Way to make us think about our morals.
Got my feels going on that one.
It'll make you think about your characters.
Why
Why are
would
they
you do
here? What are
that?
they
I have
doing?
enough character, thank you.
All about that ham, about that ham.
That is a song that we need to have. She's all about that ham, no sugar. She's all about that ham.
She likes pecans. She cannot lie.
We can make lots of ham jokes, guys, but the fact's still real. Everyone loves ham.
But let's be serious for a moment.
Yes.
Let's be sure.
Joke all you want, but you know everybody loves ham.
Everyone loves ham. There's no denying that.
So,
Man,
this is
I wanna
just
hear Chip's dream
a
now.
minor warning that at any point going forward, especially, you guys are getting up there in the levels. You're going to start. Well, I mean, you've already got significant personal power compared to most any normal person out there. You're going to have to deal with your shit.
And
I'm actually really looking forward to it.
I need to look up Gold Dragon stuff, apparently. It's time.
Yep, you made it through one entire book of the campaign. It's probably about time you knew why you got, punished and what you're doing. And...
Like, I kind of had an idea, but it's like, I wasn't expecting you to, like, answer. Like, oh, right now? Like, oh.
So what you're saying is you've been playing, but you haven't really been thinking about your character. That's what I'm hearing.
I've really developed her emotional connection.
So you're,
To ham.
so you're a one ham pony.
She does have a horse named Silver, so the three
I
of
heard
them.
you didn't
have
name
her
it
in
Bacon.
the
And what does that say about your greed?
Oh.
Have you considered that?
Wow.
All the white furs. Oh, it's digging deep now.
Hey now, okay? It's just she has 3 horses somewhere in the world. Man.
But everyone, I certainly enjoyed that. I hope you all did too.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it was good.
And that is something I'm going to try to do a little more frequently. Is because you guys sent me your backstories months ago, but with the exception of Brian or Erevan and a little bit of Numa, haven't really gotten to work them directly into the story too much. We teased Adam's arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Soon to be
So-
ex-nemesis.
Well, you got to find him again.
Oh, you two are getting a divorce?
Oh,
Who gets custody of everyone?
I
Who
swear,
gets
if we have
custody of
a
the spell book?
That
We have
actually
an
reminds me of
Empire
something I was
Strikes
gonna ask earlier, but I thought it would break the mood. So, Ryan and Amanda, you guys adopted me. What does that make Adam?
The one we didn't pick.
So I'd be the brother who goes off and comes back as the serial killer or something.
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
So
Yeah, I've
Ben
been
is
sleeping a lot
Dexter
these
and
last
I'm whatever that other guy's name was.
you would still be brother-in-law.
Well, that's the thing. It's so if I'm kind of like a half brother, so he's like a quarter brother, or like a half brother-in-law.
Stepbrother?
Step brother-in-law.
We can
Half
become best
stepbrother.
friends.
Half step brother-in-law, like that.
We'll go with that. As long as you get to
Red-headed
keep Allie.
stepbrother-in-law?
That's really the most.
I don't know. You seem to be more attached to Ham recently.
Well, you haven't really mentioned her cobbler, so I'm, I gotta do what I gotta do.
She sees Ham on the side.
I think she sees Ham everywhere.
Your aunt's brother's sister's cousin roommate twice removed. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Oh man. I swear, if we have an Empire Strikes Back moment with Caden's character, it's gonna be great.
You mean Caden, I'm your father?
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
Oh.
Just gonna throw that one out
Not
there right
yet.
now. That's not happening.
As far as you know.
How about Caden? I am your brother.
Tell you what, unless someone at some point gets a wish spell. Because as we know, wish spells can do just about anything.
Or somehow make it
Caden
to
would be the
ninth
most
level.
likely to.
Caden would certainly. I mean, I think clerics can also get wish.
Ah.
The race
I'll
is
wish
on.
for you.
No,
But
you're
you
going
Either
to
have to
wish
be
wish
for
to
that
be
or
him.
him.
You have to be a level 20 cleric, though.
Never mind. She probably won't make it that far.
I don't have anything to do with it.
I mean, basically been your plan since they wanted to kill me, so.
That's not true.
Yeah, although at some point in there, I had to get devious and try to kill you with venereal diseases.
You brought it up
That
on
must work.
yourself.
I don't know. I haven't made you roll your save against disease from your last encounter.
You did say.
No, but you made me do a different roll, which was more than enough, I'm sure.
Oh no, I take that back. Only sorcerers or wizards can get wish.
Mm.
Dang, Octavia.
Unless
How's our
What
fun
if
What
gonna
if
work?
someone
Many
used
things?
the wish spell to expand who could use wish, or to make
That's
it a lower
possible.
level spell?
Or you could
Don't
wish
think
for
that
wish
works.
for everyone.
But it's
there's
wish.
a chance you could die. Unless a deck of many things pops up, though. 1d4 wishes. I mean, it's a chance.
Didn't Ben already veto that?
Yeah, there's no deck of many things.
Just
How about
saying.
deck a few things?
Not yet.
Deck of one specific thing.
Deck
I
of
can give you a deck of one
A deck
specific
of
thing.
wish.
It'll be a deck of cards.
And they're all like the two of clubs.
So
They're
clerics
clubbing.
clerics at 9th level get astral projection,
Hmm.
which is huge. Gate,
That's pretty big.
mass heal, which is crazy.
Yeah. That's like, what, 70 to 6 people?
No, 700 hit points divided up basically any way you want to.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Nice.
I'll take that
As
one.
many creatures in range, divided up amongst as many creatures as you can see within range.
Wow.
And they're also cured of diseases, and they are blinded and deafened conditions are also cleared.
You should really not look ahead that far because now you're really going to try and kill me.
And
can't let that
true
happen.
resurrection.
Now that's
True
some
resurrection's good.
BS. That is legit BS.
What, true resurrection?
Yeah.
You touch a creature that has been dead for no longer than 200 years and that died for any reason except old age. If the creature's soul is free and willing, the creature is restored to life with all its hit points. This spell closes all wounds, neutralizes any poison, cures all diseases, and lists any curses affecting the creatures when it died. The spell replaces damaged or missing organs or limbs. The spell can even provide a new body if the original no longer exists, in which case you must speak the creature's name. The creature then appears in an unoccupied space you choose within 10 feet of you.
But it's like 35,000 gold to do it, isn't it?
Holy water and diamonds worth at least 25,000 gold pieces.
Pocket change.
At that point, kinda.
I was really
I mean,
hoping
we can spare that now.
I was really hoping that Amanda didn't kill my wizard because he was gonna make
I
an
didn't kill
undying
him.
loop.
He just jumped into a body that I was shooting with lightning.
Yeah. There's a way that you can make an undying loop as a wizard, and once you get to a certain level, it becomes very easy to do. So
There's ways at level 1 that you can get infinite wishes if you so choose.
really,
Yeah, you have a candle invocation, a demon's true name, and like rings of wish or something like that. It's just you abuse the hell out of it over and over and over.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of a way of like not abusing it, but if you have wish, then you can get wish and was it simulacrum, whatever that one is, and the one that makes a pocket dimension. Basically, you
Isn't that what Manchun did in the lore? He just basically has an infinite number of clone bodies that he resurrects himself into.
Yep, and then that body has a teleport scroll that is linked to his physical body. So when he dies, he can just resurrect and teleport back to his body.
There you go.
If you do that and you have a wish, you can cast wish for a dragon's horde, which is, relatively simple on the wish spell. So you have the gold to do it, and then you just create simulacrums of your whole party, and then put them in an extra dimension. in weight. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that as a DM, I might have to overrule that one.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
The thing is, though, that's like a 20th level long game just to get to that. Like that whole setup.
Okay, at 20th level, I could understand that.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to have wish in order to get enough gold in order to make it viable to keep doing it. And once you get to that point, then you're pretty much unkillable permanently.
Seems like you'd just be better off keeping a handy cleric around.
Oh no, definitely. But yeah.
All right, well, everybody. Guess I will catch you guys later.
Yep.
All right.